I didn't mean to fall for him. Hell, I didn't even like him at first. But if life has taught me anything, it's that the heart doesn't give a damn about rules or about the fact that he was my best friend's brother. It started the summer after high school graduation in a sleepy town in Oregon, where Friday nights meant bonfires at the lake and mornings were painted with the smell of coffee drifting from the only diner on Main Street. I had my plans, my future, my safety nets, all the things a kid thinks he has figured out before life decides to shake him. And then there was Ethan Lawson, my best friend Tyler's older brother. He was 2 years ahead of us, the kind of guy who seemed untouchable varsity football star, smirk that could cut glass, and a reputation that didn't leave much room for innocence. He was everything I swore I wouldn't get tangled in. And yet, every time he walked into a room, it felt like the air shifted, like gravity had a new center, and it was him. That summer, Tyler invited me to crash at their house while my mom worked double shifts at the hospital. I told myself it was just convenience, a place to sleep, a way to escape the loneliness of my half-empty apartment. But really, it was walking straight into the fire. Ethan wasn't supposed to be there. Mush had a job at a garage across town, but fate's cruel joke was that he always seemed to be around when I least wanted him to be. Shirtless in the kitchen grabbing a soda. Sitting on the porch at night, cigarette between his fingers, lost in thoughts he never voiced. Or worse, smirking when he caught me staring. I hated him for that smirk. I hated how it made my chest feel too tight, how it forced me to wonder what it would be like to be the one who wiped it off his face, not with anger but with something softer. Something terrifying. The first real crack in my walls came one stormy night. Tyler had passed out early, too many beers at the lake, and I was lying on the couch, wide awake, listening to rain hammer the roof. Ethan walked in, hair damp, jacket dripping water. He smelled of rain and gasoline. He glanced at me, then at his brother asleep down the hall, before lowering himself into the armchair across from me. "You ever feel like you don't belong in your own skin?" he asked suddenly, his voice quieter than I'd ever heard it. I blinked. This was not the Ethan I knew, the arrogant, cocky one. This was someone cracked open, raw. "Every damn day," I admitted before I could stop myself. His eyes found mine in the dim light, and for the first time I didn't look away. That silence between us wasn't empty, it was full. Full of everything we weren't saying. Full of every rule we were breaking just by existing in that moment. The nights that followed blurred together. Small touches became excuses. His hand brushing mine when we reached for the same cup. His shoulder pressed against me when we sat too close on the porch swing. Words turned into confessions whispered at midnight, about dreams neither of us trusted the world to hold. And then, one night, it happened. It wasn't planned. We weren't supposed to let it go that far. But the way he looked at me, like I was the only thing tethering him to this earth, it pulled me under. His lips on mine were rough, desperate, nothing like the movies, but real in a way that burned through my veins. I should have pulled back. I should have thought of Tyler, of the inevitable fallout. Instead, I leaned in. I kissed him harder. Because in that moment, I wasn't my best friend's sidekick, and he wasn't the golden boy with a reputation. We were just two people who had found something worth shattering for. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. Tyler found out. I'll never forget the look on his face, that mix of betrayal and confusion, like his whole world had shifted without his consent. He didn't yell, didn't throw punches. He just stared at me like he didn't know me anymore. "You're my best friend," he said, voice trembling. "And you're my brother. How the hell am I supposed to be okay with this?" The guilt was suffocating. Ethan tried to shield me, stepping between us, but it only made things worse. For days, Tyler barely spoke to either of us. The house felt colder, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. I wondered if love was worth losing everything else. It all came to a breaking point one evening when Tyler confronted us both. His voice shook with anger and pain as he demanded answers. Demanded to know if what we had was real or just some reckless fling. And Ethan, stoic, stubborn Ethan, looked his brother in the eye and said, "I love him." The words hung heavy, echoing in the silence that followed. My heart raced. No one had said it out loud until that moment. Tyler's face crumbled. "You're serious?" I couldn't speak, but I nodded, my throat tight with tears. For the first time, Ethan reached for my hand in front of him. Held it like a vow. Tyler shook his head, ran his hands over his face, and walked out. The slam of the door was both an ending and a beginning. Weeks passed before Tyler spoke to me again. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet, but a fragile truce. He saw the way Ethan looked at me, how I looked back. He saw that it wasn't something fleeting. Slowly, painfully, he began to understand. And in that understanding, we found space to breathe. Space to imagine a future that wasn't built on lies and stolen moments, but on something real. The night before I left for college, Ethan and I sat on the hood of his truck under a sky littered with stars. His arm brushed against mine, grounding me in a way nothing else ever had. "You think we'll make it?" I asked, voice small. He glanced at me. That smirk softened into something tender. "We already did." And for once, I believed him. Because real love doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't follow rules. It simply finds you, even in the most forbidden places, and makes you brave enough to hold on. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.